burner, and he now sets a Falcons record.
Welcome to Atlanta, home of them dirty birds. Anybody hating?
Back here in the locker room, the fans, 680, 93.7 FM, our 9 o'clock hour, all driven to you by Hayes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with locations in Lawrenceville and Gainesville. It's time to start something new at HayesAtlanta.com. I gave this guy a couple extra yards, like an extra 100 yards. 1,699 yards and 17 touchdowns his first year here in Atlanta. He also would make the All-Pro that year. He would make second-team All-Pro in 2010, two-time Pro Bowler and a second-team All-American back at Northern Illinois. And Brian Finneran, for the first time maybe since he's worked with us, actually used his phone to call some people here in the last couple of weeks. We had Mike Vick on, and now we get Michael the Burner Turner in studio with us for an hour. Michael, we really appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us here in the locker room.
It's good to be here, man. It's been a long time since I've done this, and me and Finn was talking while we was on vacation doing the Falcons cruise, and the idea came up for me to come in the studio, and I just took a chance at the opportunity.
So we're going to start with vacation before we get into football and everything else. So Finn told us a story about you. One, that you can't swim very well.
Very well, at all.
Oh, so you can't swim
At all.
At all.
And that Finn also decided to be sort of your, I don't want to say do-boy and lackey, but he decided to take you out in the ocean and kind of paddle you around out to a sandbar.
Right.
But he failed to tell you that there was a 4-foot shark swimming around until after you were at the sandbar. So what was your reaction when you get out to the sandbar and you realize there's a fish with a lot of teeth swimming between you and the shore?
First of all, I was lightheaded.
So let me describe the situation.
Me too.
He can't swim. We're on the shore, and there's a sandbar about 30 yards out. But to get to the sandbar, there's about 8 feet deep of water that goes for about 15 or 20 of those yards. Mm-hmm. So he was kind of hell-bent on getting out there and saying he was in the middle of the ocean doing it. I said, I'll get you out there. So when I tell you we put him on a big floaty,
right,
one of those like things you see in a nice pool. And
it wasn't that big.
It was big enough for his body. So his whole body was on top of it. He has like the little pad where your head.
Sure.
So he's on that sucker like he's in a coffin, like sitting there and trying not to think too much. I think his eyes might have been closed at one point or another.
He closed the whole time.
And he's just trying to talk to me and not think about being in the middle of the ocean and not being able to swim. Yeah. So I literally, when I said, all right, we're at the sandbar, just roll off. It took him like 5 or 8 seconds to finally get off from that and realize he's in like knee-deep water.
Fair.
And he got up, he said, man, I'm lightheaded. I didn't even tell him about the shark yet.
Right, he didn't even tell me about the shark. I was just concentrating on like, all right, just don't panic. Get across the water, trust Finn that everything's gonna be okay, and I did that. I was like, and Chris Moore was there too, so they was kind of. Did he say something about a shark earlier?
He saw a shark in the distance, and we didn't really believe him.
I never seen the shark, so I didn't believe him. So I thought he was just joking. So I was like, all right, when I get on this thing, go out there, just. They probably gonna joke with you some more, Finn's gonna do something crazy. I was expecting Finn to do something crazy. I was like, just don't panic. Just stay calm and just let it be. Just let him do whatever.
Good on you for facing your fears and
Big
trusting
time.
in Finn. That says a lot to me about what he thinks of you, Finn.
Yeah, Finn, I trust you, Finn.
No doubt.
I think a lot about you.
Well, thank you. I did tackle when we got back to the shore into the water.
Right. That was. I knew something was going to come back.
But that's okay. I mean,
That's
you had your footing.
Yeah, that's okay. After getting me across the water, I let him slam me in the water.
Look, at least he didn't slam me in the water where it was 9 foot deep.
That's right?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It felt good out there. It felt good to be in the ocean.
Now, is that something you would ever want to learn how to do, is to learn how to swim? Or is there never a time you're going to feel like you need to be in the water by yourself?
I try to avoid those situations for the most part, but I'm not scared of water. It's just like somebody just teach me how to float and paddle and all that stuff. I'll do it, but nah.
I think it'd be a good skill to learn.
Yeah.
Put it on your list of
Ben
things to do.
seems upset that I don't know how to swim.
It seems a little amazing, as athletic as you are, that swimming wouldn't just kind of come natural to you, honestly.
Oh, no.
No, not at 5'10", 245. Not back in the day.
Man, 5'11", man. Man, y'all, you give me 2 minutes, y'all. Now you making me short.
Now, you're not at 245 anymore. You're in unbelievable shape.
Yeah, 220.
What do you do now to stay in maybe even better shape than you were in your playing career when you were in great shape then?
Well, first of all, I'm not getting fed as much as when we was in the league.
The other day, I went through some of the stuff we did, whether it was from who were we talking to? It doesn't matter. We went from like breakfast and then walk through and then Popeyes on the plane or whatever your young rookie running back took you, and then dinner at the away game we went to where it's like a nice steakhouse and ribeyes and lobster bisque and whatever else you got and Caesar salad, and then a meeting for a few hours and then more snacks. I was like, what the hell? We were running a lot, but we ate a lot.
Right. It was a lot of calories then, but yeah. But no, it's just been over the years, just slowly losing weight over the years. It's nothing in particular I do. I go walking. I do a lot of walking and stuff, but nothing like training for football, nothing like that.
So we got together for the Falcon fan cruise. It was great to catch up. I played, I think 11 of us were there. I played with 8 of the 11 guys. It was really neat to be there and get back together, which was the first time we did that in a long time. And Michael and Ovi and Todd McClure and a handful of other guys were out there. Talk about that experience for you, what it meant, and then would you do it again?
Off top, definitely I would do it again. The boat alone was worth it. The ship was worth it alone. But to be out there with the fans, and we had some special fans there. if Finn's going to mention that later, but it was a great experience to be around the guys again. That camaraderie, it was like being in a locker room again, and just bringing up old memories, old times, good times, and just catching up with each other, catching up with each other, families and stuff, and how guys are doing, because we kind of like separate at the football. And like y'all think we'll talk every day, but no, it's not like that. People got families, got other stuff going on. But it's like a web though. We all still connected, and it was just feeling good just to see everybody. And met this new guy, Jeff Yates there. I never met him before.
Jeff Yates was drafted.
I never met Chris Moore either.
Oh yeah. So you meet new guys, new Falcons.
Yeah.
Jeff Yates was drafted by the Bills in '73. Played for the Falcons for I think like 7 or 8 years after that. And he's probably, was he 70 years old?
Yeah.
And he was hanging with the young Bucks and trying to be a big part of that. So it was fun to meet everybody and get reconnected.
You were a huge part, talking about the connection with you and Matt Ryan coming in together. Many people remember the first throw of Matt Ryan, but they don't remember the first game. You two together, you had a monster, 200 plus yards, and really carried the team. What was the allure of coming to Atlanta from San Diego? I know you were a backup there behind LaDainian Tomlinson. There probably wasn't a lot of future to be a starter, but what was the allure to come here for a team that hadn't been good because of losing Mike Vick and coming in with a rookie quarterback?
Well, the situation was kind of weird because, it was everybody after the Mike Vick stuff. So it was like a rebuild of everything.
Right.
So it was just like being interested of rebuilding, being part of a rebuild instead of going to a team that's ready to go right now. So, but I didn't have that many choices to choose from leaving San Diego. But I'm glad Atlanta chose me, and it was another challenge. Like, I've been through the rebuilding process there in San Diego, so I knew what it was going to be like, or what it should be like, come to Atlanta, and it was. And we went to the playoffs right away first year, so it was a quick rebuild. And I was a part of that. Like, I was pleasure being a part of that. And it was like things. It was just magic. It was just magic, and it wasn't like an allure thing. It was just like everybody's willing to prove themselves, because I was like first time head coach, first time GM.
Rookie quarterback.
Me starting for the first time, trying to prove myself. It was a lot of things that we already had to prove it on our own, and it just came together real well.
I think you had like 220-some carries in San Diego in 4 years.
Oh, yeah. I barely touched the ball.
Did Malarkey and Rabisky and Mike Smith tell you, we're going to feed the hell out of you with a rookie quarterback, and you're going to be the focal point of what we're doing? Because you got 376 touches, like Michael said, 1,699 yards, and the 17 touchdowns we'll talk about in a second.
Okay. Yeah, but I didn't know it was going to be that many touches. I thought Matt would. I didn't know. Like I said, I've been through it when I seen it with Phillip, when me and LaDainian was taking care of Phillip, his development. I don't think LaDainian had over 300 touches then, but he also had me too to help him. But, but yeah, so it was different. It was a different grind. We had more pieces too in San Diego. We was able to throw a lot more in San Diego. We was more of a throwing team than power football running, even though we had Marty Schottenheimer as a coach.
Right.
We ran the ball, but we ran it to open up the pass a little bit more, not necessarily just running just to be running. When I got to Atlanta, we was running it just to be running.
No doubt.
So that was different philosophies.
Michael the Burner Turner in studio with us here for the next hour, and we're having a good time talking about some memories here with the Falcons.
Biggest adjustment for you, whether on the field or off the field? I know you grew up not far outside of Chicago, right? And kind of went to college. College ball was there in Illinois, okay? And then you spent some time in San Diego, and then you end up here in Atlanta. They all play so different, those three states, those three cities. But whether it was within the organization, coming from San Diego, or just even outside of football, what was kind of your biggest, like, oh, all right, that's different. We're going to make this work. We'll figure this out. That's a good question. Fan bases. I don't know. Just it's interesting. You've had an incredible journey, is all I mean.
Yeah, so. San Diego's more laid back. It's a laid back city, and football's wasn't a priority there.
Right. It's like typical California fandom, which doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah, we had blackout games and stuff like that. We was going through that out there. Sure. When I got here, it's just a different vibe. The city's more lively. I see more people in the streets, more excited about football. You got more Braves fans and all that other stuff. But the passion to me for the city that they're begging for a win is football. And we won a Super Bowl win. We won a Super Bowl title here, and so bad I can feel it within the fans. So that's the biggest, probably the biggest difference is more fan involvement than San Diego. Not to bash on the fans out there, it's just different. And that was the biggest adjustment. Like when we was winning here, it was like the whole city just vibing. It was a thing. It was nightclubs and everything was just better. It was just better for everybody here when the teams was winning.
I was gonna say, walking into VIP at a club after you win on a Sunday night's got to feel pretty damn good here in Atlanta, and they're playing the music and everything else. Being at the old Georgia Dome when you got here, and we talk about the transition that had happened. You went from the Mike Vick experience, which everybody loved. I mean, this was one of the marquee venues in the NFL. And then the unfortunate stuff that happened with him and the Bobby Petrino fiasco. And then you and Matt Ryan and Mike Smith and Thomas Dimitroff all really arrived together, and Roddy was already here. Just talk about what that was like, year 1, 2, and 3, coming in, having immediate success, and then being good for a while, really having sustained success, which is something this franchise had never had before.
Okay. I guess, I don't know, the toughest part was just to get everybody to believe that we can win. And once we got to rolling, man, we were just hot. We was on fire that first year, and we was just a tough team.
Right.
And that's how you overcome your shortcomings, just being tough. You can see that with Detroit now. Like when they became good because they got tougher, and they didn't have all the talent, but the talent's there now. But at first it was like we're just gonna be tougher than everybody. And that's what our philosophy was. At least on offense, definitely was on offense. We're just gonna be tougher than them. Than our opponents, and so that was the transition there, like the period there, and then we was just winning, and just being more confident in each other, and guys are developing well. Great coaching staff, one of the best coaching staff I've ever been around, and just developing the guys. It was just great, and everybody was just coming in to being their own man and being their own star in this league.
So it was a fun first year when Mike got here, and there's a funny story I've told multiple times here on the air. For whatever reason, myself and Harry Douglas was a rookie as well. Michael Jenkins was probably 5 years in, maybe 4 or 5 years in. Roddy was 4 years in at this point. So we had a nice little nucleus of receivers. But for whatever reason, we couldn't get across that gosh darn goal line.
He's about to cuss.
So Michael Turner has 17 touchdowns, and about halfway through the season, I think this started happening. He's probably sitting around 9 or 10. Yeah. And we must have had 4 or 5 receivers over a course of a few weeks get tackled inside the 5-yard line. I'm talking about like really close to the goal line. So it became a running joke. Michael started. We, as receivers, so it's got 11 personnel, so 3 receivers, a back, and a tight end are in the game. The passing down or something, so maybe Mike's on the sideline for a break. And then we get down inside the 5, and then we bring in 23 personnel or 22, and he comes in with a couple tight ends, an extra tackle or whatever. And it came a point where he got to about 10, 11, 12 touchdowns. He kept getting fed inside the 2-yard line, and he came in one time, and he'll do it for us in a second. But you just heard this sound. It sounds something like
Thank you.
So every time, entire time again.
That's beautiful.
15, 16, 17. Thank you. Every time he ran down there and took the ball. And listen, that was the confidence he had.
Right. Yeah.
Not only in the scheme, in the team, and the offensive line, and the play calling. We knew he was going to score. I mean, it got to be ridiculous.
It was like, no turning back. Like, that was our chance. Mike's going to score. But I really wanted the guys to score because I ain't had no incentives or nothing for me to get all the touchdowns. You're right. But yeah, go through back to that. Thank you. Oh, y'all got the sound bite now. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get it. But then, I wanted him to score. But I was telling him, like, look, I want y'all to score. But y'all know if y'all don't score,
you ain't getting the ball.
Y'all ain't getting it back. Mike Mularkey is going to call my number. He's not going to call y'all number. He's not going to give y'all a second chance. So that's been a running joke. And they get pissed off because they was trying so hard to score. You can see guys like stretching for the end zone trying to get in there. I think Jink got it like to the one trying to stretch it out. But he couldn't get in there. And everybody, it's like laughing, but you're pissed off at the same time because you're so close to scoring.
Right.
And you know, like, that's my chance. Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to have to find a way to use that every show.
5 straight years of double-digit touchdowns. The next year you got, was it the groin or something that got banged up a little bit?
Ankle. And I kept trying to come back. I should have just rested and took my time with that.
That's what we do.
Yeah, I was trying to come back too
Try to grind through it. Comes back the next year. Next 2 years with 300-plus carries again. So you were the stalwart of this team, and I'm curious how the body's feeling now with the beating you took over the career that you had here.
I mean, losing the weight helps a lot.
Yeah.
But like if somebody was asking me outside, like, my growing pain, like aches and pains here and there. My neck is really messed up. But other than that, came out pretty good. I had no
pain.
Yeah, like daily pain, like some ibuprofen or something can handle. I don't have any knee surgery. That's why I'm glad I left without the knee surgery.
How are you going to hurt your knee with quads like that?
Right, yeah. So, I was blessed. And, I can't imagine having, like, knee surgery. Like, Finn, you went through all that. So I can imagine how your knees feel now.
Yeah, not good.
Oh, we have to deal with it every day. He complains.
Oh, yeah.
He comes in, my knee, my back, my elbow, you name it.
My toe, my groin, my calf, my pec. My ribs. So we got a little segment we'll do here when we come back from the break, moving the chains. We'll talk about some of the local stuff going on and stuff across the country with the NFL.
Right.
And you'll participate and be a part of that as we move forward. We'll
also have a conversation about what happened at the end, and did you have anything left in the tank? Did you want to play any longer? We'll talk about that coming up next. Michael Turner in studio with us here on The Fan, 680 at 93.7 FM.
Thank you.
Back in the locker room, The Fan, 680, 93.7 FM. 9 o'clock hour, all driven here by Hayes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with locations in Lawrenceville and Gainesville. Time to start something new at HayesAtlanta.com. Michael Turner in studio with us for the remainder of the show. He's been nice enough to grace us with his presence. Mike, I got to ask you, we work with Brian Finneran every day, and you can usually tell within about 5 minutes of getting here how his night was the night before, what kind of mood he's in. There's certain things that we'll say that he doesn't agree with, and he gives us what we like to call Fin face.
Yeah.
He just gives us the look like, how dare you say this? How was he as a teammate? Was he cranky every day that he came to work?
Not every day. Not every day.
Every day.
I'll give him some credit. It wasn't every day, but those same looks that y'all get, those same looks was in the locker room. Finn hasn't changed one bit, but as far as a teammate, Finn was a great teammate. He didn't deal with me because I was a running back. He had to deal with those receivers, and that was a handful. That group. So I was just trying to be on this good side, not be too much of a pain to him because he's a veteran in the locker room. Remember, I'm new. I'm new to the team. I don't know anything about anybody on the team. Keith Brooken, all these guys, John Abraham. I don't know anybody.
Plus, in the AFC, we hardly played you guys.
Yeah. I played y'all. We played y'all once.
One time.
Yeah. So, but I didn't know anybody. So I'm just going with. I'm following the veterans.
Right.
So I'm still a young pup in my eyes. I'm not there yet. I haven't arrived yet. So first time meeting Finn and going through all that process of the first offseason and everything, you get to learn the guy. And he was like a locker room dad.
He's like that to us now.
Right.
Yeah. But I was cranky, old, and broken at the time, too. I had just missed the previous 2 years with ACL injuries. And that was my first year back wearing a brace at a training camp and everything else. And Terry Biscuit taking care of me in practice. He's like, you cannot take a day off. He's like, I'll take care of you on the field, but you got to show up for every single practice. So we had great coaches. Then the attention to detail that Smitty brought in and Malarkey. The toughness that Mike talked about was emulated through the offensive line and Mike T and Ovi. And then the attention to detail on top of all that with Matt and myself and Jenkins was what kind of made that thing all go.
Yeah,
it was pretty special.
It was great. It was great. And don't forget Tom McClure being a leader up front too. So yeah, the locker room was good. And Finn was in order. Yeah, Finn. he had his gripes. If Finn was. If Finn didn't see something right, Finn would speak up.
Now, was he passive aggressive? Because he's passive aggressive with us. He'll be aggressive when he needs to, but every now and then you'll get like an individual text like, hey.
You're out of your mind, by the way.
What should I do?
I love these sound bites.
Hey, stupid.
Don't, because they'll get you too. Trust me.
I'm too late. I'm already on it.
But that's a good one. That's your signature. I love that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are in there forever. Before we get to moving the chains, the end here in Atlanta, and it was tough. I was there, sideline reporter at the time. 17-0. Rolling.
Yeah.
San Francisco's in trouble, and then things go sideways. And then, unfortunately, in the offseason, they let you go. Cost-cutting move, the business of the NFL. Did you like the way it ended here in Atlanta? And did you feel you had stuff left that maybe you could have continued to play?
I always knew that was my last year in Atlanta.
Okay.
Just by the way things was going, I was getting phased out of the offense a little bit, and I think they tried to trade me mid-season.
Damn.
Yeah, so I knew it was my days was numbered. Did I have any? I definitely had something left in the tank, but it was just like I was just satisfied with my career.
Okay.
I didn't want to go anywhere else. I made my mark in Atlanta, and I didn't want to be one of those guys just be hanging on.
Right.
I had kids here and stuff, and I didn't know how to deal with that situation with living in another state. Do I bring them with me? I didn't want to go through all that. So, and it wouldn't have meant as much playing for another team. I don't know, that passion to play football. You gotta have that passion. I gotta love the team I'm playing for,
right?
And love the guys in the locker room and stuff like that. And I didn't want to meet new guys again. Going through that, it's a whole process going to a new team.
Sure.
And I was a backup, became a starter, and I didn't want to go back to being a backup either. So that was another piece of the puzzle too. So
who came in behind you? Who was here in 2012? Was that
Steven Jackson?
Oh my God!
For all 5 games.
See, this is where Thomas Dimitrov, man. He did some nice things, bringing you in.
Yeah.
Drafting Matt Ryan, re-signing Roddy. There was a lot of good things.
Trade for Julio.
Trade for Julio.
Yeah, trade for Julio was big.
But stuff like that, I mean.
Oh, wow. I forgot about Steven Jackson.
Yeah, everybody did.
I think he played like 5. He played like 5 games here before his hamstring locked up. You ever give Harry crap for tripping over the 30-yard line?
No, I never do, because things happen in football, and I know like that could have been I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, but I know that could have been a special moment for him if he would have kept his feet and actually scored. That would, that's one of the things you live for, like a moment, like scoring a touchdown in a key moment of a game,
and something that eats at you forever.
Something eats at you. So no, I don't know about him. For what? It was a lot of things that went wrong during that game.
Yes.
So that wasn't the only thing that happened. So I never blame a game on one play.
Sure.
Because I had a disaster in San Diego too, when everybody blames Marlon McCree for catching the interception instead of batting the ball down. We was playing against the Patriots, and that led to them coming back and beating us in the playoffs. So I've been a part of some heartbreaks. So so I don't bring that up amongst other players. That's something they got to deal with internally.
We got a giveaway to do right now to one of the best rock bands of all time.
The world's biggest rock band comes to Atlanta's biggest venue as Metallica, Pantera, and Suicidal Tendencies bring the M72 tour to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. June 3rd, 2025. Tickets to see Metallica's M72 tour on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. 404-231-1680. Pair of tickets for you.
I'll give the trivia question. How many touchdowns did Michael Turner have his first year here in Atlanta?
Yep.
We
what did
just
he say
talked about
after each one of them?
Thank you.
Now, are you a big Metallica fan?
Oh, not at all.
No. Who are you listening to? Like right now, who's Michael Turner got on his playlist?
it's always going to be Future. But
Nice.
other than that, man, I mix it up. Sometimes I go with stuff with no words.
Right.
Recently,
So you're listening to Andre 3000's Flute album?
yeah. Something to get clear my mind, give me some zen. Artists. Whew.
We're a very eclectic
I know it's
group on this show.
but it's all Atlanta music, so it's not nobody really stands out. Like, I got to listen to something
Right.
other than Future. Then everybody else just mix it in.
Yeah, so we were different ones. Finn and I go on a road trip. It ends up being kind of a clash of styles because he wants to hear Metallica and Pantera.
Oh, really,
and
Finn?
a little bit of that, and I want to hear Kendrick
Take it
Lamar
easy.
and
Don't
Rick
tell people
Ross.
what I want to hear.
He will go with some old school Snoop and Dre. He's good with that.
Yes, Tupac. But I'm a big fan of like some reggae, Bob, and Steel Pulse, and then country's been my go-to lately. But yes, when I had a playlist, it was AC/DC, Metallica.
I know he's a rock
those
guy.
guys were involved.
I didn't take you for a rock guy, Finn.
Well, little did you know.
You too calm and under control. Rock guys, don't they like?
Oh yeah, you
Have
put the
an edge
helmet
to
on and
them.
get after people. Yeah.
They do a bunch of that. Well, not only are we talking Falcons with Michael Turner, we're going to talk some current NFLs. It's time now to move the chain.
There's no one more reliable in a big game situation.
Oh, my knee, my calf, my foot, my brain.
Brian Finneran is moving the chains.
My segment.
Presented by Georgia Pack and Load. Move the smart way. Move the Pack and Load way. Call 1-800-800-MOVE or online at gapackandload.com.
Oh, my stomach. Fun time of year when OTAs are kicking off and guys are usually inside the building. Did you find it important to be a part of OTAs and be around for off-season training?
Yeah, got paid for it too. So
There
yeah.
you go. That's the thing. I don't know why more
get
teams.
paid to work out. So
100%.
you're right, and being around the guys too, and it was fun being around the guys. So I ain't like training by myself.
Yeah, no doubt. We're going to go to Las Vegas. Geno Smith, and he gives you his first impressions of Ashton Genty.
You know, I think Ashton, just from getting to know him, man, he's so wise beyond his years. Just super humble. You know, for all the accolades he's gotten, to be one of the highest drafted running backs in a while. Super hardworking, asking the right questions. You know, he wants to learn from the vets. And, I mean, he's special with that ball in his hands. We know that. And we got to keep getting it to him so he can go out there and be great. We'll see when the pads come on exactly what he's about because, you know, that's truly what makes him different is his ability to break tackles and, you know, bounce off of contact and continue to run. But just in the short time he's been here, he's picked up the offense well, and he's doing a great job. So, you know, he's got to keep it up.
You like that kid?
Yeah, I like him a lot. I hated his football stance. I'm glad they changed that.
Look at this. I'm glad you said that. Didn't even know what's coming up. Here's Chip Kelly. So talk about Ashton Genty's stance real quick in college.
It just standing straight up. It just looked like
knees straight.
Yeah, it was like
hips straight.
Yeah,
He looked like Michael Myers in a Halloween movie.
I wouldn't even stand like that in street football. So it's just a waste. When you stand like this, it's a waste of movement to start to play. So timing wise, I'll see what happens.
Offensive-minded coach Chip Kelly. He was asked about the stance and the change they made to it.
I haven't told anybody on this team to be in any stances because I don't coach a position. So, but it's a bent knee game. You look at before the ball snapped in baseball, or the pitch is thrown in baseball, everybody's got their knees bent. In any athletic sport you're playing, you got to bend your knees. And if you got to run a flat route on Fred Warner, you better be in a position to run because that dude can fly. Yeah. You know, so all we're trying to do is put guys in positions to make plays. And he's adapted really well from going from here to here. So it literally is about 3 inches. So I really don't think that is that big a deal. So, but he's awesome, and he's such a coachable guy that you can do a lot of things with him.
So the running back coach asked him to change his stance and bend his knees, and it said it's only like the 3-inch bend, but that explosiveness you get from that stance as opposed to standing straight up or down has got to make a huge difference. So we'll see how he looks when they put pads on, as Geno Smith said. All right, Patrick Mahomes up at OTAs in Kansas City was talked to and asked about the Super Bowl loss and what it's meant to him.
It's hard. I mean, I feel like I focus every year because I know how special a run that we're on and how many years left I'll have with all these great players and a great team. Every team's different, and you don't want to miss an opportunity. But I mean, obviously, when you lose the Super Bowl, I think there's sometimes in those workouts where you might be a little tired. You have that extra added motivation to finish even harder, finish even stronger. I think it'll be good for us at the end of the day. I mean, obviously, looking back, you want to win the game, but a lot of these guys hadn't ended the season on a loss that are on this team now. So I'm sure they'll be motivated to go back out there and try to find a way to get to the Super Bowl and win it this year.
Yeah, if he's motivated, watch out. Could be also, we're not going to hear it, but Travis Kelce's kind of winding down as well.
Yeah.
That 1-2 punch has been special for a long time.
Well, they get Rashee Rice back. He'll be back from injury and all the other nonsense he was dealing with. That's scary to think about a motivated Patrick Mahomes, because I didn't think he played that well last year.
Right.
And they just were winning with just guts and determination, it felt like.
Yeah, right. That was a team that they're still on the run. It's still not over for them. The window's not closed. As long as you got Patrick Mahomes, the window's still open. So we'll see them this year if the AFC can catch up to the Chiefs.
Right.
No doubt. This guy's playing in the AFC, and I don't know if he'll play much this year, but we will find out. Joe Flacco, him and the other 4 quarterbacks up there in Cleveland. When you talk about Deshaun, who's hurt, Shadur Sanders, they drafted late. Dylan Gabriel, they drafted in the 3rd, if I'm not mistaken, or 5th?
3rd or 4th, and then Shador
and then
in the 5th.
Who else is there? There's one of the guys.
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett, thank you very much. Joe Flacco was asked about his job. A little long, but listen to him talk about mentoring or not mentoring the young QBs.
It's a good question to bait somebody into answering, and no matter how they answer it, it kind of makes the guy that's answering it look bad. If I say I don't want to be a mentor, I look bad. If I say I do want to be a mentor, then I look like an idiot that doesn't care about being good and playing football. So it's one of those questions that no matter what I say, you guys can write what you want to write about it. And there's a lot of questions like that. That's why you end up having to try to avoid them. I tend to try to be honest. And I've said I'm not a mentor. I play football. And in a quarterback room, there's a lot of times there's been a ton of times where there's learning experiences, and I have a lot of experience, and I can talk on things, and hopefully they listen. But it's not necessarily like my job to like make sure they listen to me. And hey, like hopefully you have a really good relationship with the guys that are in the room, and you naturally want to do that.
Did you have any young guys when you were playing that came through that you felt here in Atlanta that you felt you could kind of mentor a little bit or help, or just by example or whatever?
We had Jacquizz. Remember Jacquizz Rogers?
Oh, yeah.
He came in. But,
Clayton, was he here? Anton
Smith, yeah, he was here. But it was different because who's going to run like me?
Nobody.
You and Anton Smith were exact opposites.
Right, so yeah.
You can't beat me.
Right.
Thank you.
I was just going to say.
Beat you to it. All right, last one. A couple news and notes. Will Levis up there in Tennessee. What did they just do this year in the draft?
They drafted the best quarterback in the country, Cam Ward. From
the U.
You're damn right.
Cam Ward's there, and Will Levis is like, he was asked a question. Listen to his response about Cam.
It's been great. I mean, I'm here for him wherever I can be, and he's a really smart kid, and we've been able to talk a lot about the different installs that we've gone through, and hearing his perspective and how he sees things, and he's a heck of an athlete, heck of a quarterback too. So it's been fun going out there and playing with him.
Right before that, they asked him what his plans are moving forward, or something's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, the reporter's like alluding to the fact that he's not going to play football there.
Right.
But he's got to be a backup and try to stay in the league, right?
Of course.
His face just dropped and looked so dejected. It was just like, it is what it is. We all know what the story is. Cam's going to be the guy, and we got to try to work around it. All right, Ticketmaster, did you see this yesterday? Pauses ticket sales for NFL London games to ensure genuine fans are able to purchase seats. What do they call the bots?
Oh,
the bots got online and started it became a $250,000 queue. Guys are waiting in to get London tickets because somebody jacked it up online with the way they do that thing. So they're popular games, but I don't think they're that popular. NFL is going to play 7 international games this year in 2025. Obviously, our Falcons will go to Germany to take on the Colts.
Which apparently you're now going to.
There's a
and
chance.
You didn't invite us.
Well, I'm going to invite Mike Turner because that's what we do. We hang together.
Thank you.
I was just going to say.
That's hilarious.
He nailed it. He understood the assignment. I love it.
That was perfect. And then the Dolphins have had trade discussions with the Steelers about their lone Pro Bowl selection last season. Tight end Jonnu Smith, who used to be a Falcon. The talks came after Jonnu expressed interest in reworking his deal that's scheduled to pay him $4.8 million this year. So he wants some more money. So ideally, I think he wants to stay there. Dude broke the record last year for receptions, yards, and touchdowns for a tight end.
Yeah, 88 catches, 884 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He needs to play 8 in the lottery. And my goodness, with Tyreek Hill slowing down or whatever the hell he's doing down there, Tua Tagovailoa needs a weapon. Can we work a 3-team trade with them?
Who do you want?
We'll send them Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
they can send him Jonnu Smith, and we'll take Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, I don't think it's going to work.
No?
That's moving the chains.
That's why I'm not a GM and I just host radio. That's it. Talk about the Falcons coming up this year. Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, Mike, when you see those guys, the way that they run, that 1-2 combination, that's got to make you proud, doesn't it? See, going back almost to the times when you were here, their ability to run the football and make it easier. How do you like watching the two of those guys?
Man, I love watching them. I wish they get the ball more. I don't think they got the ball enough the last year or whatever, especially Tyler. I think he should be getting a lot of more touches. I see myself in Tyler, and I see Bijan as the LT. I see that same dynamic, that duo that they can have here, or they do have here. But I see it, but we don't know how long we're going to have Tyler, so we got to take advantage of having Tyler here. Because I know he's want to start at some point, and
he probably could be a starter for half the teams in the league.
He definitely can be a starter. So it's good that we have that talent here. So let's use it while it's here.
Did you and LT have a nickname?
No, it was none like Thunder and Lightning. No.
So a guy chimes in via Twitter, and Steve Flippin, he said he worked at NIU when you were there. They did the best they could to market Michael for a Heisman Trophy. We thought up the idea of the burner nickname, which I wasn't sure he was fond of.
Right.
But we also sent out little Tabasco bottles with his picture on it that coincided with the burner campaign. So I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, I hated the name.
Did you
first.
really?
I hated it, but
boy, it's stuck here, brother.
I was gonna say
because it just took over, and the campus was on. I was gonna say on fire. No pun intended. But it just took over, man. Like I said, it was a phenomenon at NIU, and the name just stuck with me. I just had to surrender and say, yeah, okay, I'm the burner. Forget it.
Too funny.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about that, the Heisman campaign, what was it like going through that as a player? Like, we always talk about teammates. You guys just want to play football and you want to win games. It's not about individual accolades. But when the school's putting you up for something like that, what was it like for you as a player? Was it something you had pushback on immediately, or was it just like, hey, I'm having a really good year, let's go ahead and run with this?
Because I was getting 200 yards a game, so it was like it's like it was coming with the territory. So like they wanted to pump me up as much as possible. Like, hey, come check this kid out. This guy's putting up numbers and doing well. Now our team's doing well. And my Heisman campaign stuff started actually my junior year, and then it went to my senior year. Then our senior year we beat Alabama, beat Maryland.
That's crazy. Beat Alabama,
beat Iowa State in Alabama too. Don't forget that part.
Make sure we get that in there.
So we had ESPN hype and everything else. So like I said, it was just something that the campus never seen, probably never see again. But no, Jordan Lynch actually finished third. So I don't know how they did with his Heisman stuff, but I know when I was there, it was something that was like insane.
Well, social media was around for him.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And you fought that. They had to do it like the old school way, kind of, however we used to do it.
That's why I was sitting out hot sauce bottles.
Yes, exactly.
little gifts here and there.
Maybe if you catch the ball in the backfield better, you would have got a better Heisman.
They just had to hand it to me. They just hand it. I ain't need any tricks. Y'all want me to have the ball, just hand it to me.
That's right.
and did an unbelievable job with that. We've got one more segment to go. Michael Turner in studio. We'll also check in with Nick and Chris, and we have our Bet Nots. We have a segment that's called Things That Bet Not Happen at the end. We got that coming up next here in the locker room on the Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM.
Miss any of your favorite 680 shows this week? Catch up anytime this weekend at thepodcastpark.com or grab one of our original podcasts with shows from Domino, Finneran, Chuck, Chernoff, and more. Thepodcastpark.com, presented by Associated Credit Union.
Guys, I was just on a basketball trip last week, and that means spending a lot of money, but there was no better thing to use than my Chime Secured Credit Builder Visa credit card. It's where I can build some credit with money I was already going to spend while I avoid interest. It is a secured card, but you can get it with no credit check and no minimum deposit. You just go to Chime.com and go, boom, put in your stuff, and then the Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card shows up at your house. It's access to 50,000 fee-free ATMs, also no annual fees, no interest, and no credit checks. Make everyday purchases count with Chime Secured Credit Builder Visa credit card. Get started today at Chime.com. It feels like progress. Chime Bank is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services provided by the Bank Corp N.A. or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by the Bank Corp N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Chime checking account required to apply. On-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Results may vary. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal and OTC advances may apply. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs.
The warm air, the beautiful weather, and the sounds of baseball. It's got you thinking about hitting the road. And no matter where your adventures take you, Subaru of Gwinnett has a vehicle to get you there safely and in style. Like the 2025 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. More than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4 or the 2025 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right-sized SUV for all the adventures ahead with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Drivers, start your engine!
Atlanta Motor Speedway is built for battles, high speeds, tight packs, dramatic finishes.
Crossover move. They're 3 wide for the lead.
But you've never seen Atlanta Motor Speedway like this, under the lights, where every moment feels bigger. Experience the Quaker State 400, available at Walmart Saturday, June 28th. Under the lights in Atlanta.
Wrapping things up here in the locker room on the Fan, 680, 93.7 FM. About 10 more minutes with Michael Turner. Really appreciate him coming in, hanging out with us, laughing, giving us a soundbite that we will use now forever. This will be on every single time. But guess what? Now it's time for our Bet Knots.
Is it?
Matt Lear, since you're ready for it.
Bet Knots. Time for Bet Knots. Presented by Harrah's Cherokee Casinos with Vegas-style action just a short drive from Atlanta. Visit harrahscherokee.com and plan your getaway today.
So you know how the Bet Knots go, things you bet not see happen in the world of sports or in your life or at all. First weekend, I am free. From
free of what?
AAU basketball. Really free of everything. My wife has the kids down in Destin. It's me, the dog, and the cat.
Right.
Sunday morning, because I think I'm going to go out drinking Saturday night. I think I've earned this enough. No one bet not call me before noon.
Okay.
Noon on Sunday is the cutoff time where you can call me. If you call me before then, or if you jackwagon send 800 texts, we're going to have a problem.
All right, Braves are up this weekend against a Red Sox team that is not very good this year. Braves bet not lose this series. I'm tired of seeing them lose series. It's time to get on a little run here. 3-game series against them, then 3 against Arizona. You need to win both. Bet not lose either of these series.
Kelly, you got a bet not?
Well, I agreed with Finn, bet not rain the rest of this weekend, but I will also personally say we bet not see a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I'm sure you don't want to see that.
Pacers have got to close that out tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. That kid. They need to put him in a jacket of some sort.
You want to play? You good?
Oh, no.
I don't have a bet.
That's all right. You can think about it before we get out of here.
All right. So we played a game earlier. They had the National Spelling Bee, and Brian Finneran decided to embarrass us because we talk, we don't spell on this show.
I thought you guys did pretty good.
We got like 65%.
You need a
70%.
pen? You want to write it down? Or you just want to spell? It's kind of long. You might want to write it down on a piece of paper.
Give me a
This is actually, it's funny because
17-letter word?
Domino's in here as well for the crossover. And Domino, your home state is New Jersey?
It is.
So Illinois
This is bada bing.
Illinois and New Jersey had the same word for some reason that the people in that state Googled the most.
How
do you spell this word? Are you ready for it? And do you want to try to spell it?
Yeah, I can't spell. Go ahead.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Why did you do it phonetically? You like gave it away.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's how you normally
congratulations.
say.
And you're saying that was a Google search that was really big in those two states?
Oh, these are all of them right there. Those are the words
you
people
just gave
search
him how
the
to
most.
spell the word.
Well, he already wrote it down, buddy.
Oh.
Not that I can read it.
That one I could spell.
Yeah. You want to read
it? Might
be. Congratulations.
You got it?
Now you got me second guessing myself.
It always happens.
Origin.
Say it out loud, Mike.
Origin. Yeah. Can you use it in a
sentence? Don't do it like the congratulations cards to graduates where they put a D in there, please.
Oh, dang.
Congratulations.
Because I was going right. That's why you was doing the D.
Yes.
You was emphasizing the D on there.
Congratulations.
But I was thinking
It's a
about
T.
congrats.
Yes. Right.
Congrats.
Yeah. Right.
Congrats. That's short.
There you go.
Congrats.
You're on it.
All right, how do you
Important.
spell it?
Congrats, you got it right.
Hey, you're the guest. Go ahead.
Okay, C-O-N. Hold on. I gotta look down. G-R-A-T-U-L-A-T-I-O-N.
Yes, there we go. That Northern
Good
Illinois
job.
education paid off.
First and goal
What
from
an
the 2.
accomplishment.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
All right. Listen, you can sit in that seat. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. I kicked somebody out of that seat about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's the only thing I have around here is that seat. Do you believe you were supposed to win the MVP in 2008?
Yes.
Nobody knows Chad Pennington. You finished third.
I thought I finished second.
Third.
Oh,
Chad
okay.
Pennington, him and his 19 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Gosh, are you serious?
I thought I was second. Okay, whatever it was, I should have been
Peyton
first.
Manning.
Peyton Manning was probably his worst seasons he had.
Right. Peyton Manning did, was it something? 27 and 12. 27 touchdowns, 12 picks. 4,002 yards. And everybody said, 4,002 yards. He didn't give up as much skin as you did that year. You left a lot of skin on the turf.
Yeah.
So you believe you should have won it?
Yeah, it would have been
I
fair.
do too.
I mean, impact. The coach was already winning, so them winning already. It was nothing special about that season.
It's not the offensive player of the year, which you could have won. Most valuable player, it was easy.
Right.
Valuable to his
You're
team,
right, yeah.
not stinking.
That's one of the things I look back on. Like, man, maybe if that would have been known coming into the season.
Right, if it was your second year in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And you put up those.
But it shouldn't be that way.
Right.
But
it always is.
But it is.
It becomes popularity plus quarterback plus.
Listen, I don't want to do this.
Unknown.
But the AP voting, look at that name, number 2. That's Chad Pennington.
Yeah.
That was that stupid Wildcat year for the Dolphins, too.
Whatever.
So Chad Pennington was lined up as a receiver.
Right, he wasn't even a
half the time.
Jet then. He was a Dolphin.
Now he was a Dolphin.
Oh, my God.
What?
Right, what?
There it is.
You were robbed. Let it be. I'm glad you say it.
Oh, yeah. I tell people all the time, I should have been MVP, but it is what it is. I can't control that, But if it was fair, if people were smart.
Do you think you were cursed by the Falcons then? Like Falcons across the front? No, seriously.
What are we doing?
What do you mean?
It didn't help that we had what we had happen the previous year.
Right.
It was awful.
Yeah,
So,
I think I think people sometimes get graded on a curve.
Okay.
A little out of sight, out of mind.
Well.
But there was nobody more valuable in the league than you. That was the bottom line.
That is
Thank
true.
you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
I think you're the first person to come out and say it publicly.
We've been saying it here for years.
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
serious for years.
Okay.
You talk about suck up over
You can
here.
use it.
I'm going to tell them what I said. You were the greatest free agent signing the Falcons ever had.
Thank you.
Eugene Robinson would have been, all due respect, had he not had his night before the Super Bowl. Eugene Robinson changed everything in that building. Changed everything.
And we were
He was a
talking
winner.
and we were talking about Jesse Bates today and how he's in line.
Yeah, he's in line. He had a hot year last year, so let's hopefully he come back and keep that going.
Are the Falcons a playoff team this year, or is it too much pressure on Michael Penix?
I thought it was a playoff team last year.
I did too.
Ding, ding, ding.
It's just like we got to. Are these teams that much better than us that we can't win a division? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins a bad teammate for not saying he was hurt?
He probably, everybody on that team in that locker room knew he was hurt. It's just the fact that management, and the coaches, and everybody got to pull the plug. It's like sit them down, like take control.
gotta help him.
Yeah, you got to help him out. Like,
do you wish somebody would have said something to you about your ankle and said take it off a few weeks and then we'll get you back in?
Yeah, but they was let me back in. Man,
they got to protect us from ourselves sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, but they go by us. We good to go. We good to go. So it was that.
I think he's a bad teammate.
Yeah.
You think he's a bad teammate for doing that?
Yeah. You got to tell people you're hurt.
Yeah.
I blame everybody for not pulling him because he played 3.5 games too long. But you got to tell the world. You got to tell the right people in the building.
Dude, I saw him get hit in New Orleans by that Saint defender. I don't know who it was. His elbow and shoulder got blasted.
I go with that.
He's never the same.
Unless that player honestly thinks their 70% is better than whomever is behind them. I'm not saying he did, but I've watched players who believe their 70% is still better than whomever's behind them.
100%.
He was nervous about his job.
That's
he's
exactly
a bad
what it
teammate.
was.
And by the way,
I'm not saying.
can I pick a little bone with you?
Yeah, we do it every time you come in here.
Okay,
So just do it again.
Kirk Cousins, stop with the what was Kirk Cousins and he was sold a bill of goods. That was his job for 2 years. Had he played well enough in the first one, gone to the postseason, he would have been the starter the second year.
I didn't say woe is Kirk Cousins. I just said that that's not how you handle a situation like that. This is the first time anybody's ever done that, something that insane. To give a guy $180 million and draft his predecessor in 8th overall.
Yeah.
I could see draft a guy in a 3rd round and be like, let's grind this guy out for 2 years, see if he's worth it.
Okay.
It's just it was a bad deal. I'll never come off of that, ever.
Kirk Cousins did nothing for me. I didn't have an emotional tie in the guy.
Okay. So
another fine.
You still blame Kirk for that because they drafted the guy after signing him. So that pressure of having to play hurt, having to play injured.
No, we're all adults. Let's figure this out. You're hurt.
Am I a bad teammate because y'all pressure me to play because I got a threat behind me?
That's a good question.
The coach. No. It's actually the coaching staff should have realized he can't play. He's got to go. They're the culprits. Him not saying he was hurt. And I believe, and I told you, I think he didn't go to the trainer's room for a reason.
Yeah.
You might have been to the trainer's room? I don't. That's the part I don't know.
No,
I don't know if he was not getting treatment
at home.
Dude, on the bye week when he was hurt, he already got hurt. He was in Michigan vacation with his family.
Here's what I believe. I believe some guys like the chiropractor.
That's been a bad teammate. That's been a bad teammate doing that.
Thank you. Go get your treatment.
Going on vacation during a bye week. I never went on vacation during a bye week anyway. I stayed home.
Let me ask you, do you ever go to a chiropractor and not tell the team?
Of course.
Okay. So the point is
they brought him into the facility first, but I know, especially.
I think he was getting treatment on his own. He was hiding the fact that he was getting treatment.
You can't do that.
Okay.
I got to go see Dr. Joe soon.
All right. Then that's a bad teammate.
All right, thank you very much.
Speaking of teammate, I heard your teammate's not in. What are you doing for a show sheet today?
I don't know.
All right.
We got David Ross, coach of Team America. He's a coach from Mark DeRosa for Team USA.
Classy, making his Apple TV debut tonight.
We're going to play pop quiz. We got a couple of pop quizzes. We're going to play Know Your Show host.
We
know
do
your
that
show
too.
Host. No, not Know Your Show. Know Your Show host.
Oh, okay.
And we'll see how it goes.
Awesome.
We're going to see what happens.
Mike T, appreciate you coming in and making the effort, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
You're always welcome.
It's been a pleasure, man. It was fun being here. I was like, I haven't done this in a long time, so it felt good to be here.
You are now friend of the show. They can't steal you.
Anytime.
You are welcome in the locker room anytime.
Blast to watch.
And this is my seat.
Yeah.
When you're here, when you're here, it's your seat.
Thank you.
When you're here, it's your seat. You should have been the MVP of the NFL. How would I move an NFL MVP?
There you go.
Right. Cannot do that at all. Kelly, great job filling in today.
Yeah,
we'll
guys,
see
I'll
you
see you
on
on
Monday.
Monday.
Michael, it was absolutely a blast. Thanks to everybody. Matt Lear, Road Dogg, Justin, all the interns, everybody else. Finn, thanks to you. You were in a good
Nice
mood
work.
today.
Nice work.
It was
Whatever.
fantastic. We'll see you on Monday.
I'm out of here.
Bye-bye.